Hello everyone, Treecks here and welcome back to Banjo-Kazooie. I didn't mean to land there. I was trying to go for an intro while I was in flight mode. And the reason why I want to be in flight mode at the beginning of this episode is because at the end of the last one I kept on falling all of a sudden. So in order to make sure I have a little bit more guarantee of success, I actually took a break a little moment. However, now I seem to be bombarded with snowballs all of a sudden. And let's move on with where we were. We were trying to open up this window over Nepnuts' house. It is pretty mysterious, looking at it. It looks inaccessible. However, the moment you have the flight pad available and another miss. However, this time I did not fall, so apparently there's still hope for me. Here we can actually also find a flight pad, which we can use. And there we go. It's not easy to hit, it's a pretty small target as you can see. But there's actually something in here. Only accessible in winter. Because only then the flight pad is here. And look what we have here. The only collectible we were still missing here in Click Clock Wood. Let's go pick up the first extra honeycomb piece. Even those are still here. And of course the second one is going to be the final one in the entire game. And that is actually also available in winter. We'll be taking a look at that in a moment. For now, let's go continue climbing the tree. There's one more thing to find up here, of course. Eerie the eagle. He has matured. Eerie, mighty eagle at last. Watch me as I fly into the sky. All that hard work. All those caterpillars we had to find. I have reward for bear, friend. Here it comes. Okay, please don't mention where that came from. And let's just collect this Jiggy, which is number 8 for this world. Only 2 more to find. And one of them is of course for the Jinjos. We still don't have all of the Jinjos yet. We're still missing 2. And we are getting closer to finishing this world. So where may they be? What I do know is where the final notes of this game are. Not just for this world, but this entire game. Here we find notes 899 and note number 900. The final one in the game. You can of course also grab the Jiggy in there if you don't have it already. Here in winter it's also pretty easy to get, as you can see there's a lot of platforms here. So perhaps even in winter it's best to go up here, because the notes also force you up here. In winter it's definitely recommended to go up there, but I think from summer and onwards it's already easy enough to get there, so still wouldn't know why you would wait. And with that, ow! Let's limit the damage here. Okay, that could have been worse. One last thing we need to take a look at is actually the river area. As you can see, it is frozen rock solid. However, there is stuff down here. And therefore, you might say, there should be a way to get in here. However, just ground pounding does not seem to do the trick. We also see Naughty's house is still available. However, of course, also under the ice. We need to find a way into the ice. And therefore also into Naughty's house, because that is obviously where we're going. Even in winter, his little house is actually available. However, we need to overcome some danger in order to reach it this time. Yes, that's right. Swim under there. Icy water takes double air. Yeah, comparable to the oily water from Rusty Bucket Bay, as you can see, this freezing water also doubles the flow of your air. And therefore you need to do this quick. There's barely enough time to go here. But it surely is worth it. Because once you're in here, you will find first of all a surprise to Naughty. I don't usually get visitors in winter. Yeah, I can imagine. And the reason why we're going in here is, like I kind of gave away in autumn already, there is an item to get in winter. The final extra honeycomb piece in the game. Which will actually, for some weird reason, don't give you an extra honeycomb, as you can see. Always thought that was weird. But they do still count for 100%, so if you're going for a 100% playthrough, you still need to collect the 6 final extra honeycomb pieces, but they don't actually give you more health, as you can see. 8 remains the maximum. Okay, there we are. And that is actually the final thing we wanted to do here in winter. It may be the most awesome season of all. However, even that eventually comes to an end. It is time to return to spring. There's one last thing we needed to do. Like I promised in the beginning, the transformation business we're doing last. And by process of elimination, we found out the spring Mumbo is actually the only one that's able to do magic. Let's finish off Click Clock Wood. Let's return in the circle by going from winter back to spring. Only this time we're not going to work with Banjo and Kazooie. We are going to work with the final Mumbo transformation in this game. The only thing we have ignored so far, Mumbo's skull in spring. Let's go see what the final and also most interesting transformation of all actually is. Because yes, of all the transformations in this game, this is by far the best one. Okay, here we are, sir, finally. I've brought way too many Mumbo skulls, if you don't mind. As long as you have 25 or more, it does not matter. Aha! Mumbo magic, much good. B is best yet. I agree. Even though we're so fat, we're more of a bumblebee in all honesty. But yeah, the reason why this one is so good compared to the other ones is the fact that we can, surprise surprise, fly with this transformation. And you were thinking winter was the only time we were allowed to fly. The bee transformation can actually fly, making a lot of this world easily accessible, and some things even only accessible for the bee. At the very top of the tree we will actually find this ledge over here. Bear and bird Banjo-Kazooie wouldn't even be able to dream of getting to this platform. But as the bee, it is no problem. It is Jiggy number 9. Only one more to find. And for that we actually need to go look for a Jinjo. For that we actually need to find 2 Jinjos. Interesting how we're completely done with the world, with the exception of 2 Jinjos. The first one's actually all the way at the top of the tree, the regular top of the tree. I don't mean this higher area, but this area, where we can actually find that little room where the Jiggy is in all seasons. On that area is actually also one of these nipper plants holding a Jinjo. And the final Jinjo is going to be right in here. A small little hole. From the very first transformation in this game we learned transformations are used in order to enter small holes. So even in spring the beehive is still accessible. However, exclusive to the bee in the springtime. While the Zabbas are still in full glory. And in here, in springtime, we actually find the purple Jinjo. The final collectible. And with that, the worlds have been completed. All 9 of the worlds completely drained of all of their collectibles. Click Clock Wood was the final one. And let's go see how we did. 52 minutes. Okay, not too bad. Also not a new record, I know. Let's move out of the world. And yes, we are going to do that while still being a bee. Because as you may remember, in autumn we actually pressed a witch switch. And we saw that the Jiggy actually spawned really high up. Guess what we need to do in order to actually reach that? This transformation is also going to be taken outside of the world. We're not just allowed to take it outside of spring. Just remember, you cannot actually bring the transformations to another season. The moment you start approaching a door from a different season with the bee transformation, Mumbo will stop you. However, you are allowed to reach the exit pad and therefore exit the world. In this case, we actually want that. Now, you can also go up the world itself to actually find a 1-up, if you're interested. But one thing you should be interested in is all the way at the top, right over here, the final collectible in this game, not just from the worlds, but also from the entire game. Even Gruntilda's lair is now completely cleared. And that was Jiggy number 100 out of 100. We are done with your lair, Gruntilda. And I think now it's about time we go see our sister again. Where are you hiding her? Well, there's still one more note door, it seems. A 765 one. A pretty hefty one. But we've got every single note in the game. For us, it is no problem. If there's one place where Grunty is hiding with Tooty, it's gotta be here. I'm not allowed to face Grunty as a bee, it seems. That gets cancelled right here. But Banjo and Kazooie themselves, as Bear and Bird, will not be cancelled. They are allowed to continue. And here we actually find a giant teleporter with Tooty's face on it. And a lot of question marks surrounding the wall. Can you guess what is going to happen here? Allow me to take a small break quickly, because there's also a couple of notes that I need to dig up from editing. You will find out in a moment why, but anyway, I'll cut the video right here and I'll be right back with you. Okay, we are done. And it looks like the video's only at 12-13 minutes. So we might as well get started with this immediately. This might take a while, in all honesty. But let's go step on this mysterious teleporter. And find that we actually enter a board game. Hosted by... who else? Welcome all, Grunty's the name. Banjo's here to play my game. My lair is done, and here he stands. Through all my tricks and traps and lands. And this final test will see me win. When Banjo fails, then I'll be thin. The prices on this stand bring joy. From Tooty down to cuddly toy. My little quiz will make you sweat. And Tooty, you shall never get. 'Cause somewhere soon, along the way, your lack of skill will make my day. 'Cause in the fiery pit you'll go, and I will win the prize on show. So step on over to the square. Press A to try it if you dare. Okay, the final boss of this game seems to be a quiz show. Interesting. I hope you've been paying attention throughout this game, because Grunty is going to test everything we have been through in this game in quiz format. A very awesome idea for a finale of this game, if I'm honest. And I'm going to try to actually clear the entire thing. I will actually go and try beat every single square in this. And that is the reason why I said this might take a while. Let's get started. A little answer is all that I seek. About this game, you furry geek. Okay, these panels are actually just regular questions, it looks like. The giant plant in Click Clock Wood. How does it get water to make it bud? Well, that's a pretty recent thing. We just did that. And we actually used a certain camel to water it. A lucky guess. You got it right. The next square is yours without a fight. Obviously, the moment we clear it, we can continue. A visual challenge, stupid bear. To tell me who it is or where. Okay, these eyeball squares are visual challenges. And just to be clear, you can't actually go on before the quiz is answered. Here's a character from the game. Do you know the dumb thing's name? Well, looky who we have here. Well, the game is really trying hard to actually make sure we know who this guy is. Gobi the camel. Hear the crowd, they boo and hiss. To see you fail, they would not miss. Well, if all of the questions in this quiz are going to be about Gobi, then it's not going to be very difficult. I think it's time, so let me see how much you know of little old me. I hope you've been paying attention to what Gruntilda has been telling to you in this game. I hope you've bothered to actually write it down somewhere, because this is the point where it is going to be required. This is what it all was for. I like them fried, they're quite a treat. What for breakfast do I eat? I wouldn't know, but luckily I've got my notes. Apparently there were spider pancakes. That's a secret! How did you know? Did my sister tell you so? She indeed did. However, do be careful. In every single playthrough it's going to be different answers, so don't go taking over my answers. Let's move on. The whale's blowhole, an object set. In Clanker's cavern, what was that? It was a giant bolt. I think I called it a screw back then, but still, you know what it means. Next up is a new type of square. Prepare yourself to take a whack. Pick this test, you won't come back. This is actually the only thing you will find on this board that's not a question, but a challenge. Mighty big box you must now fight. But be quick, as time is tight. These challenge squares, as you can see, make you refight a boss fight or do a minigame, however, in a certain time limit. Last time we actually faced the big boombox, it was while in Rusty Bucket Bay, and then we could take all the time in the world. Here we have time limits, that's basically the challenge. And that is how these squares work. Can also be minigames, they can be boss fights, but that's pretty much how they work. See the picture on my screen? Do you know where you have been? This looks like to be an interior area of Rusty Bucket Bay. It's not one of the other two, so it's Rusty Bucket Bay. That was pretty easy. Next normal question. Here's 3 facts on Freezeezy Peak. The one that is true is what you seek. It features 5 bears. Okay. Banjo actually counts in this. That's the trick question here. A question on the sounds I play. Get it wrong to make my day. Okay, a sound question. Sounds pretty basic. You should remember, but we'll see. If this is heard, where would you be? Okay, this is obviously Mumbo's music. However, are we inside of his head or inside of his skull? Okay, let's go be funny here. We're inside of his head. He rebuilt his own head. Fail a square and you'll feel pain. Please press A to try again. Listen carefully to this tune. Which world is it from, you furry goon? Okay, pretty easy, right? Now that is the world theme for Freezeezy Peak. Okay, question still beaten. I like a cuddle and a fight. What do I take to bed at night? A huge sweaty baboon. That one I actually remembered. Actually, don't need my notes for that one. If you know this, please don't shout. In Clanker's Cavern, the odd one out. Well, there's a bolt in it. Oh, they're asking for what is not in the world. Oops. There's no anvil, right? Oh wait, there is? What the hell? Oh, this is a completely different question. How many huts were there to smash in Mumbo's Mountain? 5. Oh, come on, now I'm losing it. The frog's name in Bubblegloop Swamp. Flibbits. Okay, I kinda lost it there for a moment. In Bubblegloop Swamp's marshy mount, what thing's highest above the ground? That would be a mud hut. That's the highest area in the world. The turtles are all on the ground floor. Okay, and the final new square. Just one chance to get this right. Win a joker and help you with might. Ooh, a joker. That sounds interesting. Above the sand you see it glide. In Gobi's Valley, what is the ride? Magic carpets we saw flying around there. Each joker card that you have got will skip one question, that is your lot. Press X to use it, you little cheat. When on a square, you get cold feet. Okay, now that we have that taken care of, reached our first Joker Square, it is time to call it an episode, because now I can see 20 minutes has been reached a while ago. This is our first introduction to what the final boss in this game is going to be. A big quiz about everything we have seen in this game. And it will continue next time. See you folks then. And Treecks out.